Be me. 35 Senior Systems Architect. Be the guy in the hoodie in the corner of the server room. Be the guy who hasn't updated his LinkedIn in 6 years because headhunters call my personal cell anyway. Manage the core. The core is a spaghetti monster of C++ assembly and ancient Perl scripts written by graybeards who are now dead or farming goats in Montana. It handles 40% of the company's transaction throughput. If the core stops, the company stops. If the company stops, we lose about $250K an hour. My job is simple: don't let the core stop. I work maybe 10 hours a week of actual work. The rest is monitoring automated scripts I wrote 5 years ago. Scripts that act like digital duct tape. Salary is fat. Life is good. Stoic JPG. Don't talk to colleagues unless necessary. Don't engage in water cooler gossip. Don't care about the company culture or family atmosphere. I trade hours for currency, that's the contract. Old boss Bob retires. Bob was great. Bob knew that if he saw me watching YouTube, it meant everything was working. Bob didn't ask questions. Bob protected me from HR. Farewell party happens. I drink 1 beer, not at Bob, leave early. 2 weeks later, the announcement drops. New director of engineering operations hired. External hire. Red flag 1. Check her bio on the internet. Jessica. MBA from a university I've never heard of. Previous experience: diversity and inclusion consultant, agile evangelist, change maker. No technical background listed. Red flag 2, 3, and 4. Her profile picture includes pronouns and a filtered selfie. The bio is a word salad of buzzwords. Synergy, holistic, empowerment, intersectionality. SciWev. First all-hands meeting. She walks in. Power suit, thick-rimmed glasses, laptop covered in stickers. Stickers say things like smash the patriarchy, the future is female, and code like a girl. I have no issue with women. I have issues with incompetence wrapped in ideology. She starts speaking. Voice has that condescending lilt, like she's talking to kindergartners. Hi team, I'm Jessica, and I'm here to disrupt the toxic status quo of this department. Silence in the room. We are a room of 40 engineers who just want to keep the servers running. I've been reviewing the commit logs and the team structure, she says. And frankly, I see a lot of white male energy dominating the conversation. I look around. We have guys from India, China, Eastern Europe, and Dave from Ohio. We communicate in Python and SQL, not energy. We need to create a safe space for coding, she continues. We are going to implement new guidelines for inclusive syntax and dismantle the gatekeeping of senior roles. She looks directly at me. I'm sitting in the back, arms crossed, face like stone. I know I'm the gatekeeper she's talking about. Because I'm the only one who has root access to the core. Meeting ends with a mandatory feelings check-in. I skip it and go back to my desk. 2 days later. Calendar notification pops up. 1-1 sync Jessica and Anon. Walk into her office. She doesn't offer me a seat. Anon, I've been looking at your metrics, she says, staring at her MacBook. You don't seem to have many commits in the repo lately. System is stable, I say. I don't fix what isn't broken. That's a complacent mindset, she snaps. Also, I reviewed the legacy documentation. Here it comes. The terminology is problematic, extremely problematic. I raise an eyebrow. Master-slave replication, she reads from a printout, shaking her head. Kill processes, abort children, blacklist. She looks at me like I just confessed to a war crime. This is violent, colonialist language, Anon. It creates a hostile work environment. It's standard technical terminology, I reply, voice flat. It describes the hierarchy of the database cluster. One node controls the data, the others replicate it. It implies ownership and subjugation, she interrupts. We are changing it immediately. Changing what? All of it. We will use primary replica, allow list, stop services. I lean back. Jessica, the core is 15 years old. Those terms aren't just in the documentation. They are hard-coded into the binaries, the config files, the API calls, and the third-party libraries we don't have source code for. So refactor it, she waves a hand dismissively. Refactoring the core requires a 6-month stability study and a phased rollout. It's written in legacy C. We can't just find and replace without breaking the dependency chain. She sighs, rolling her eyes. This is exactly the kind of mansplaining I was warned about. Excuse me, GIF. You are using technical jargon to gatekeep me and resist necessary social progress. I am using technical facts to prevent the payment gateway from crashing. I don't care about your excuses. She slams the paper down. I want a plan to decolonize the codebase by Friday. If you can't do it, I'll hire someone who isn't attached to these patriarchal structures. I stare at her. She has no idea what she's asking. She thinks code is just text. She thinks computers care about feelings. Computers are the ultimate stoics. They care about ones and zeros. If the config says slavid and you change it to replicad, the kernel panics. It doesn't applaud your allyship. It just dies. Understood, I say. Stand up. Walk out. Go to my desk. Open email. Draft a new email to Jessica, CC the CTO, who is currently on a yacht in the Mediterranean and auto-deletes emails, and CC HR. Subject: concerns regarding Directive 44B, syntax modification. Body: Jessica, per your verbal instruction, you have ordered a complete refactor of the core code base to remove non-inclusive terminology, master-slave, blacklist, etc. by Friday. I am formally documenting my objection. The core relies on legacy libraries, libfin legacy so, which expect specific variable names. Changing these in the configuration layer without recompiling the vendor binaries, which we cannot do as the vendor is defunct, will result in a segmentation fault in the transaction engine. Estimated risk of failure, 100%. Estimated financial impact, critical. Please confirm this directive is to be executed despite these technical warnings. Hit send. Wait 10 minutes. Reply comes in. She didn't reply all. Of course. Anon, I am disappointed in your tone. Do not hide behind technical risk to protect your ego. This is a non-negotiable company value. Proceed immediately. Your reluctance has been noted in your file. She just gave me the smoking gun. Malicious compliance exe loaded. I print the email. I save a PDF copy to my private cloud. I start working. I don't actually refactor the code. I write a wrapper script. A script that parses the new inclusive config files she wants and tries to translate them on the fly for the legacy binaries. It's a terrible idea. It adds latency. It introduces race conditions. But it technically fulfills her request. I also start preparing my exit strategy. Wednesday passes. She holds a code decolonization workshop. We have to sit in a circle and talk about how binary logic enforces gender binaries. I shit you not. Dave from Ohio looks like he's going to have an aneurysm. I sit there stone-faced, thinking about my fishing boat. Thursday. I finish the patch. I test it on the staging environment. Staging environment crashes after 400 transactions. I log the error, critical, unable to bind socket, variable slave IO thread not found. I screenshot the error. I send another email. Jessica, staging test failed. The binary is looking for hard-coded variables. Deploying this to production will kill the system. We need to abort. Her reply comes within seconds. You are sabotaging the test to prove a point. I have consulted with my external advisors, her friends on Twitter, and they assure me that language is fluid. Fix your attitude and push to prod on Friday at 5 p.m. Friday 5 p.m. The golden rule of IT, never deploy on a Friday. The diamond rule of IT, never deploy on a Friday afternoon. She wants it done then so she can announce the victory on LinkedIn over the weekend. I prepare the deployment. I also prepare a script called Save My Ass SH. This script does one thing, it backs up the original working configuration to an encrypted partition on my personal laptop. BYOD policy is lax. It also backs up the proprietary Keep Alive daemon I wrote. The daemon that actually keeps the servers running. The daemon that isn't in the official repo because I wrote it on weekends off the clock to stop pagers from waking me up. Technically, per my contract clause 14C, which I read very carefully, Inventions created entirely on the employee's own time without using the company's equipment, supplies, facilities, or trade secret information belong to the employee. I wrote Keep Alive on my own rig, my own time. It's my IP. I just let the company use it. Until now. 4:55 p.m. Jessica stands behind my desk. Do it, she says, sipping an oat milk latte. Are you sure? I ask one last time. Push the button and on, stop being a barrier to progress. I press enter. Deploying inclusive patch v10. Stopping services. Applying config changes. Restarting services. Green text scrolls on the screen. She smiles. See, it's working, you were being dramatic. I look at the load balancer. Traffic is 0. The services started, yes. But they aren't talking to each other. The primary database is shouting into the void looking for replicas. The replicas are sitting there identifying as secondary partners and ignoring the handshake requests because the headers don't match. 5:01 p.m. I log off. I pack my bag. It's deployed, I say. Great, I'll send out the email. Good work, Anon. See, change isn't so scary. I walk out of the building. Get in my car. Turn my work phone off. Drive home. Pour a whiskey. Wait. 6:30 p.m. My personal phone rings. It's Dave. I ignore it. 6:45 p.m. Personal phone rings again. It's the NOC Network Operations Center manager. I ignore it. 7:00 p.m. Customer support lines are lighting up. Twitter is trending with company down. Users can't process payments. Merchants are losing thousands by the minute. 7:30 p.m. Police knock on my door. No, just a courier. Urgent letter, no. Wait, it's just pizza I ordered. Calm down. 8:00 p.m. I turn on my work phone just to check the chaos. 47 missed calls. 100 plus emails. Voicemail from Jessica, Anon, pick up, something is wrong. The system is rejecting the new configs. You need to fix this now. This is your fault. Voicemail from CTO, calling from satellite phone. What the fuck is going on? JESSICA says you sabotaged the core. Fix it or you're sued into oblivion. I smile. I turn the phone back off. Saturday passes. The site is still down. They try to roll back. But Jessica's refactor involved overwriting some symlinks that pointed to the shared libraries. And because they didn't listen to me about the legacy dependencies, the rollback script fails. It tries to restore master, but the system now only recognizes primary at the OS level because she had IT ops change the host names too. It's a total clusterfuck. View bar. Sunday night. Losses estimated at $12 million. Monday morning. I walk in at 9:00 a.m. exactly. The office is in panic mode. Developers sleeping under desks. Pizza boxes everywhere. Jessica looks like she hasn't slept in 72 hours. Her makeup is smeared. She sees me and screams. Use security, escort him out, he crashed the system. The CEO is there. Not on a yacht anymore. He looks ready to kill. Anon, the CEO barks, explain yourself before I have you arrested for corporate sabotage. I walk to the conference room. Plug in my laptop. Can I show you the logs? I ask calmly. CEO nods, make it quick. I project the timeline. Friday, 5:00 p.m. Deployment initiated per Director Jessica's direct verbal and written order. I pull up the email, proceed immediately. This is non-negotiable. Friday, 5:01 p.m. Services fail due to variable not found errors in the legacy binary blobs. I pull up the email warning, estimated risk of failure, 100%. I pull up her reply, do not hide behind technical risk, fix your attitude. The CEO reads the emails. His face turns purple. He turns to Jessica. You were warned, he whispers. He's lying, Jessica stammers, falling back on her buzzwords. He framed the data. This is a targeted harassment campaign against a female leader. He weaponized the incompetence. The logs don't have a gender, Jessica. And the code doesn't care about your ideology. I continue. The system is currently in a deadlock state. The database is corrupted because the write heads were renamed while writing. CEO puts his head in his hands. Can you fix it? He asks. I can, I say. Do it now. No, I say. Room goes silent. Excuse me, CEO stands up. I resigned effectively Friday at 5:01 p.m., I say. I cannot work in an environment where technical reality is ignored for political performativity. Also, Jessica put me on a PIP for insubordination regarding this exact issue. I'll tear up the PIP, just fix it. There's another problem, I say. The tools required to fix this mess, specifically the Keep Alive automated recovery daemon and the semantic translation layer for the legacy binaries, are my personal intellectual property. Jessica laughs nervously. Company property, you wrote it here. Actually, I pull out a copy of my employment contract and the timestamps of the file creation, created on weekends on personal hardware never hosted on company Git, clause 14c. I look at the CEO. The company has been using my software for free for 5 years because I liked Bob. Bob is gone, and Jessica here called my code violence. So I removed my license. You want the system back up, you need to license my software. CEO looks at the screen. Revenue graph is flatlining. Investors are calling. How much, he asks. Consulting contract, I say. $400 an hour, minimum 1,000 hours guaranteed, plus a lump sum of $500,000 for the perpetual license to the Keep Alive suite. Jessica gasps, this is extortion. This is the free market, I reply. You wanted to disrupt the system, you succeeded, now I'm selling you the solution. CEO looks at Jessica. Looks at the red numbers on the wall. Looks at me. Deal, he says. And her, I point at Jessica. CEO doesn't even look at her. Get your shit and get out, you're fired for gross negligence. Jessica starts screaming. You can't do this, this is discrimination, I'll sue, I'll write a Medium article, you're all misogynists. Security actually does come. But they escort her out. She's dragging her feet, screaming about the patriarchy and how math is racist. I sit down at the terminal. CEO watches. I plug in my USB drive. Run restore logic sh. Run start keep live force. Script executes. It renames the variables back to the problematic terms in memory. It reconnects the master and slave. It clears the blacklist. Green lights start popping up on the dashboard. Transaction queue starts draining. Money starts flowing again. CEO sighs, shoulders dropping. You're an asshole, Anon, he says. I'm a high reliability organization specialist, I correct him. And you're paying me consultant rates now. I put on my headphones. The hum of the servers returns to normal. I open a terminal. Check the bank account. Wire transfer pending. Life is good. Later that month, Jessica posts a 5,000-word rant on LinkedIn about how she was silenced by a bro-culture cabal. It gets 10,000 likes from other HR managers and thought leaders. Company stock recovers. I work remotely now. From the boat. The code is still full of problematic words. But it works. And that's all that matters. Reality always wins. End of line.